All right. And we're going to give it just a minute here because there's this countdown of 20 seconds. And last time it cut off the beginning. So I'm going to wait. So if anybody's watching this already, just hold tight because we're going to get started here in like 13 seconds. 10. Here we go. All right. Welcome, DoorGrow hackers, to the DoorGrow Show. If you are a property management entrepreneur that wants to add doors, make a difference, increase revenue, help others, impact lives, and you are interested in growing your business and life, and you're open to doing things a bit differently, then you are a DoorGrow hacker. DoorGrow hackers love the opportunities, daily variety, unique challenges, and freedom that property management brings. Many in real estate think you're crazy for doing it. You think they're crazy for not, because you realize that property management is the ultimate high trust gateway to real estate deals, relationships, and residual income. At DoorGrow, we are on a mission to transform property management businesses and their owners. We want to transform the industry, eliminate the BS, build awareness, change perception, expand the market, and help the best property management entrepreneurs win. I'm your host, property management growth expert, Jason Hull, the founder and CEO of DoorGrow. Now, let's get into the show. And so today I am hanging out with Mark Podolsky. Did I say your name right?
You did. You did. Like Smith or Jones, Jason. Just
Nailed
like
it.
You
Yeah.
nailed it. Easy.
So Mark, welcome to the show. So Mark, I'm going to read your bio here because we want to qualify you, and then we'll let you brag a little bit because you got to do a little bit of that starting out here. So we're going to learn and today's topic for those just tuning in is land investing for passive income. So we're going to learn how to use land investing to create a passive income stream. So Mark J. Podolsky, aka the Land Geek, is widely considered the country's most trusted and foremost authority on buying and selling raw, undeveloped land within the United States. For almost 2 decades, Mark has been actively investing in real estate and raw land and has completed over 5,000 unique transactions. Mark's company, Frontier Equity Properties LLC, is an A+ rated Better Business Bureau real estate company. Mark has achieved this level of success largely due to his core business philosophy: happy customers guaranteed. Mark is the host of one of the top-rated podcasts in the investing category on iTunes, aptly titled The Best Passive Income Model and The Art of Passive Income. He is also the host of the Land Geek podcast, Work Smart, Earn More, Learn How. All right, so Mark, there you go. So give us a little bit of background on you and how you kind of got into this land investing.
Yeah. So, let's rewind the tape to 2000 and
Okay.
imagine me fighting traffic, 45 minutes in the car, there and back, micromanaged, stressed out at an investment banking job, working with private equity groups, specializing in mergers and acquisitions. And Jason, it got so bad for me that I wouldn't get the Sunday blues anticipating Monday coming around. I'd get the
Right.
Friday blues anticipating the weekend going by really fast and having to be
Okay.
back to work on Monday. So my
Yeah.
firm hired this guy, and he's telling me that as a side hustle, he's going to tax deed auctions. He's buying up raw land, pennies on the dollar. He's flipping them online, and he's making a 300% return on his investment. Well, Jason, I'm looking at companies
Okay.
all day long, and a great company has 15% EBITDA margins or free cash flow. Great company. Average
Yeah.
company is 10%, and I'm looking at companies all day long less than 10%. So of
Yeah.
course, I don't believe him, and we go to New Mexico. I do exactly what he tells me to do. I've got $3,000 saved up for car repairs, so I can only buy $3,000 worth of land. So I buy
Yeah.
10 half-acre parcels, an average
Mm-hmm.
price of $300 each. I put them up all online, and they all sell 30 days later for an average price of $1,200 each. It worked, 300%. So I took all that money. I went to another auction in Arizona, which is where I live. And again, it's 2000. There's no one in the room. There's no competition. I'm buying up lots. I'm buying up acreage for nothing. And over the next 6 months, I sold all that property and I made over $90,000 cash. So
Wow.
I go to my wife and she's pregnant. I say, honey, I'm going to quit my job. I'm going to become a full-time land investor? And she says, absolutely not. So I said, okay.
She's like,
So
no, that
yeah,
doesn't
she's
make
like,
me feel safe.
yeah. So I worked land investing part-time, and it took 18 months for the land investing income to exceed the investment banking income. And then I quit.
Okay,
I've been doing it full-time ever since.
there you go.
There you go.
Cool. And it's so easy, anybody can do it.
Yeah, I wish it was so easy. Um, it's a simple model, but anything worth
Yeah,
doing in life is not easy.
sure.
So what I could do is I could walk you through the model,
Hmm.
and then odds are you'll just stop the podcast and quit doing what you're doing and start land investing with me. But that's okay. It's okay. It happens a lot.
Okay.
So you want me to walk you through it?
Yeah,
Okay. So Jason,
let's
where do
do
you
it.
live? All right.
I'm in
Where
Santa
where do you
Clarita,
live? You're in
California.
Santa
Santa
Clarita,
Clarita.
California.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Uh-huh.
let's imagine that you own 10 acres of land in Texas. And I
Okay.
go to the county treasurer and I get a list of people that owe back taxes. And sure enough, there's Jason Hole, Santa Clarita, California, $200 in back taxes on this 10-acre parcel. So,
Okay.
Jason, you're advertising two things to me. Number one, you have no emotional attachment to that raw land. You're in California, the property is located in Texas. And number two, you're distressed financially in some way because when we don't pay for things, we don't value them in the same way.
Got it.
And you haven't paid your property taxes. As a result, the county treasurer keeps sending you notices saying that, Jason, if you don't pay your taxes, you're eventually going to lose your 10 acres to a tax deed or a tax lien investor. So what I will do is I'll look at the comparable sales on that 10-acre parcel, and I'm going to take the lowest comp and I'm going to divide by 4. And that's going to get me what Warren Buffett would call a 300% margin of safety. So I'm going to actually send you an offer of $2,500 on that 10-acre parcel, assuming that the lowest comp is 10 grand. So
Okay.
I send you an offer for 2,500. Now you accept it because for you, $2,500 is better than nothing. And you haven't gone out to look at the property. You just don't care about it anymore. In reality, 3 to 5% of people accept my quote unquote top dollar offer. So now that you've accepted the offer, I've got to go through due diligence or in depth research. Number one, I got to confirm you still own the property. Number two, I have to confirm the back taxes are only $200. Number three, I have to make sure there's been no breaks in the chain of title. Number four, I have to make sure there's no liens or encumbrances. So I have this whole property checklist and it goes on and on and on. If it's a
Okay.
property deal that's worth less than $5,000, I'll actually close it directly with my team in the Philippines. We're hooked up to an American title company. I'll pay $11 for due diligence. They'll give me a whole property report. I'll get the GIS maps, the plat maps, aerial maps. If it's an area I don't know, I'll have somebody go out there, stomp on the property for me, take, video and shoot photos, fill out my property checklists. What are the neighbors doing out there? What's the road like? All these things, right? Everything checks out. And now I buy the property from you for $2,500. You get 2,300 of it. 200 goes to the treasurer. And now I own that property free and clear. I'm going to sell this property 30 days or less. And the reason I'm going to do this is I have a built-in best buyer. Do you know who it is?
No.
The neighbors. The neighbors.
Oh,
So I'm going to send out neighbor letters saying,
right.
hey, here's your opportunity. Protect your privacy, protect your views, expand your holdings, know your neighbor. And oftentimes the neighbors will buy it. Now, if they pass, I'll go to my buyers list. My buyers list passes. I'll go to a little website you might not have heard of called Craigslist, 10th most trafficked website in the United States. I'll go to an even
Okay.
smaller one. It's called Facebook, buy sell
Right.
groups
Right.
and
That
marketplace,
little one.
the little one. And then I'll go to like these platforms that specialize in buying and selling raw land, landmodo.com,
Hmm.
landandfarm.com, landsofamerica.com, landflip.com, landhub.com. It goes on and on. Now,
Okay.
the way I'm going to sell it is I'm going to make it irresistible. So I'm going to ask for a $2,500 down payment. I want to get my money out on the down or within, let's say, 6 months of that. And then I'm going to make it a car payment. Let's say 449 a month, 9% interest over the next 84 months. So essentially, I've got a one-time sale. I have passive income of 449 a month, 9% interest over the next 84 months, no renters, no rehabs, no renovations, no rodents. And because I'm not dealing with a tenant, I'm exempt from Dodd-Frank, RESPA, and the SAFE Act, this onerous real estate legislation. And then, Jason, the game that we play is, can we create enough of these land notes where our passive income exceeds our fixed expenses? And then we're working because we want to, not because we have to. And then the beautiful part about all of this is 90% of it is automated with software, virtual assistants. It's
So,
it's great.
so what's the point of getting past the fixed expenses?
I'm sorry, Jason, I lost you there. What's the point of?
Oh, I see. Yeah. So what is that? What is that point? What is that trend? Like, what is the, the price point of fixed expenses typically?
Well, I think for most people, after you're at about 10,000 a month in passive income, that's
Mm,
120,000 a year.
yeah.
You're in pretty good shape. Now, we have some
Okay.
clients who are doctors and lawyers. When I have a client, he's been working with us for 10 months. He's at 15,000 a month passive, and he just went from 5 days a week at his law firm to 2 days a week, and he's spending the rest of the time with his dad, who he needs help working with him, and the other 2 days doing what he wants to do.
Yeah.
But we have so many clients that once they hit that point, they retire their spouse, they either quit their job, they do what they really want to do in life, because the whole idea of this is we can always make more money, but we can't get more time. So for me, true wealth means if you wake up, you don't have to be anywhere. You work where you want, when you want, and with whom you want. And that's really the goal of doing all this.
Love it. Yeah. So, okay. So what else do people typically ask you about this? Because when you say it, it sounds really easy, and it sounds like something that maybe anybody could do. But it's just like it's like starting a part-time job, right? If you start getting into this.
It no, it is. It is an operating entity.
Hmm. Yeah.
So we ask our clients to spend about an hour or two a day
Okay.
doing this. And that will move the needle, because with our virtual assistants and our software, it's pretty automated. We
Hmm.
actually have automation software for marketing, so we can automate our Craigslist and our Facebook postings with a posting automator. So the only two things that, as CEO of your land investing business, you, Jason, actually have to do is county research, because if you get that screwed up, the whole thing falls off the rails. So you have to pick a good county, and then from there, you got to make sure that you get your pricing right. So you might want to work with a VA and train them and show them, hey, look, here's our lowest comps, here's our dividing by 4, and we need a response rate of 3 to 5%. If it's under 3%, our offer was too low. If it's over 5%, let's get nervous. Why is everybody selling us their property? We might have to renegotiate. So we have our metrics from there. And then as far as the rest of the process, we can get virtual assistants to do our due diligence. You can have an intake manager that can actually talk to your sellers, because that's a big time suck as well. And then from there, you can close. We like to use simplifile counties so that we can record our deeds online. So I don't have to go and do a lot of whole paperwork that way. And then once we own it, again, we have a inexpensive virtual assistant getting us through GIS, all the neighbors' information, uploading that to our software, sending out our neighbor letters. There's an API with lob.com, which does our mailings. And then on the back end of it, we use a software called geekpay.io that is a set it and forget it system on collecting our money. So we get our down payment via credit card, and then we get our monthly payments via ACH, and then it does all the amortization, it does all the calculations, it charges fees, and does the notifications. But if that ACH bounces, it'll charge the credit card on file. So we went from an 8% default rate to a 4% default rate. And I personally work 2 hours a week in Frontier Properties doing the kind of volume that we do.
Sounds great. I mean, that's pretty incredible. So, so how hard is it for somebody to get started with this that's new? I mean,
I,
because
I think it's like anything in life. Everything is hard in the beginning. You know what was really hard, Jason? Learning to read. But we
to
don't
walk.
remember it. To walk, like we don't remember it. So we forgot how hard that was in the very beginning. But
Yeah.
you had a good teacher. They broke it down for you step by step,
Hmm.
and you were with other people, and it was just a thing. Like, okay, everyone can do this, and you just expected to do it, right? It's the same kind of thing. What happens is we're so sort of ingrained after all these years of schooling that you have to achieve to kind of go back and embrace beginner's mind and embrace the suck is hard. So if you can do that, if you can be comfortable being uncomfortable and you have some grit, you can be successful in anything in life, whether it's my land investing niche or growing your doors. Doesn't matter, but nothing worth doing is easy.
So it's true. Nothing worth doing is easy. The challenge is if somebody's going to choose into doing this or choose into doing property management or choose into doing any business, they have to kind of fall in love with this, right? They have to they have to get excited about this. So help the listeners understand, what do you love about doing this? And what do your clients that get involved in this land investing, what do they love about it that's
So
different than other
okay, so what
entrepreneurial ventures that they get into?
right. So the main reason that people like this model is,
Hmm.
number one, there's no physical inventory. Number two, there's little to no competition. If you go on HGTV or the DIY network, you're not going to ever see me on Flip This Land. The before picture is raw land. The after picture is raw land, right? It's not going to be much fun to watch me in front of the computer, typing
Right.
away.
Yeah. It
So if you
looks
go to a
similar.
RIA meeting and there's 100 people in that room, 99 of them are house flippers, landlords, or
Yeah.
wholesalers. You and I
Yeah.
are the only land guys. Number three, you have an inefficient market. So I've got a hedge fund manager that, loves this business because he's like, Mark, there's just very few inefficient markets left out there. Nobody knows the value of raw land. Now, that can be very frustrating in the beginning, but it's also very exciting once you get your arms around it. So, no physical inventory, no competition, um, inefficient. And then you have the fact that it's a one time sale and then the passive income versus,
Hmm.
let's say I flip a house, I make $20,000 on a flip. I have a new problem. What do I do with my $20,000? I can't put it in the bank. It's not going to earn anything. I have to keep redeploying that capital, right?
Yeah.
So once we get to, let's say, 10,000 a month in passive income, what's our net worth? Well, how long would it take you to have an investment throw off $120,000 a year at, say, 2% interest in the bank? That's over $3 million you and I would have to save.
Yeah.
So how long, Jason, would it take for you to save $3 million? How long would it take anybody to save $3 million? Where my clients are
They
doing this,
probably would never do it. A lot of people.
yeah. So
Yeah.
12 to 36 months, you can have that kind of cash flow. And then your
Mhm.
banker's really happy with you because your net worth is over $3 million.
Mm.
So, and then the fact that, like, I mean, I'm not proud of it, but I can't even screw in a light bulb, right? So I tried to flip a house once. I mean, I'm not interested in physical things. So the subs come out there, I got to meet the subs. They don't show up, you know, and just the capital outlay. I started
Mhm.
with $3,000. My buddy Durant started with $800. You're not going to ever get knocked out of the game in this niche. The dollars are just too small. If you go into multifamily housing, you do one bad deal and you're done for 10 years, you're BK. Or you're just a pariah in the investment community because you lost all your investors' money. This is not like that at all. So you have an easy entry point. You have no physical inventory. You have no competition. You have a one-time sale and passive income. You have an inefficient market. So there's nothing not to like about it. I think what's interesting is if you go to a party and you tell people you're a land investor, they'll yawn. It's not sexy.
Okay.
It's definitely not sexy. Maybe you lie and say you're in multifamily housing, or
I don't know
but
that that's super sexy sometimes either, but yeah.
yeah, I
Okay,
mean, it depends who you're talking to.
so how do people kind of get started in this? Like, it sounds interesting. My interest is piqued. I'm sure some people listening are interested. How do they get started with this? Because I'm sure there's a fairly steep learning curve. There's got to be a reason why everybody isn't doing it. So how do
Well,
people
yeah,
kind
I
of
mean, it's
do that?
again,
And how saturated is this? Because if
it's not. Yeah, it's not saturated at all because again, it's just not sexy.
yeah.
It's not conventional. Um, the marketing budgets of the people that are in the house flipping world,
Hmm.
like a Robert Kiyosaki or fortune builders, that's really where people flock to.
Yeah.
So land investing, you have a mental sort of hurdle for people where they think, well, I've never bought land. Now, lots of people, we all know everyone needs a place to live.
Yeah. So
Nobody
people are
needs,
familiar with property. Like,
yeah,
yeah.
nobody needs raw land. Like you didn't wake up today and think, boy, I really got to own 10 acres today. Right.
Right.
Now,
All that land that nobody's using, that nobody seems to want, like that land.
right. Right. So it is a marketing business. You have to interrupt somebody's day and pique their interest and make it irresistible. But I'll tell you, after over 5,200 deals, I've never been stuck with a piece of land. And you buy any asset, 25, 30 cents on on the dollar, there's someone else on the other end of that deal, whether it be a piece of land, a car, a trinket, it doesn't matter. The market is the market. And so to get started, I would say you've got to learn from somebody who's done it. Versus, so for example,
Sure.
let's say you and I are going to go to Mount Everest together. We're going to climb this big mountain. We
Right.
could do it
We're not just
ourselves,
gonna wing it.
right? Or you get a
We're not gonna
Sherpa.
wing it.
Yeah, so you get a Sherpa who's done it a million times, and they can
Yeah.
tell you how to the best routes quickly, efficiently, and safely to do it. So that's what you'd want to do is start with that. In fact, for the listeners, I would say that I have a $97 course that I'd love to offer them for free. So if they just go to the landgeek.com
Okay.
forward slash launch kit, they can go ahead and get that course for free and start there and then see if they like it or not.
Okay. So it's the landgeek.com / launch kit.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And they can get into this. And their time investment is 1 to 2 hours a day.
If that. Yeah. Yeah. It
Okay.
depends if they're using tools or not. It also depends if they have a scarcity mentality or abundance mentality. A lot of people, when they start doing this, they think they can penny pinch their way to wealth. And so they don't want to use any
Right.
of the tools that are out there. And you
No,
just
I'll do
can't
it
do it
myself.
that way.
Yeah,
I'll do it
yeah.
myself.
I'll watch 120 YouTube videos and figure out how to do it myself.
Yeah. And you can do that. But again,
Yeah.
like my whole philosophy is I can always make more money. I can't get more time. And so anything that'll save me
True.
time, I'll invest in.
Okay. I say something very similar to my clients. All right, so that makes sense. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So anything else that anybody should know before we wrap this up, and how can they get in touch with you?
Yeah. I mean, I think that if you have that mindset that Zig Ziglar says, if you'll do for the next 3 to 5 years what other people won't do, you'll be able to do for the rest of your life what other people can't do. So you've got to get your reps in and you have to embrace the suck. Again, nothing worth doing in life is easy. It might be a simple model, but it's not easy. And you have to take action at some point. So I think, again, the best way to get a hold of me is thelandgeek.com. I've got an audio book. I've got a book on Amazon. called Dirt Rich. If you want to just read about it and hear my story as well. We got really good reviews. People seem to like it.
Cool.
It's not because I'm such a good writer. It's just they like it.
Nice. Perfect. All right. So look for the book Dirt Rich, or check out the landgeek.com.
There you
Cool.
go.
Well, Mark, this is interesting. I think it's a new idea that they certainly haven't heard this before on the DoorGrow show. And I appreciate you coming on and hang out here with me.
Jason, thank you so much. And again, like, I apologize if you're just going to quit your business and go into land investing with me. But I
kind of love what I do. So kind of.
see, there you go. But you can do both. You can do both.
Both. Okay. Right.
Yeah, no worries.
All right. So maybe you'll get a few people from this show that are wanting to do both. So there you go. All right. Well, Mark, thanks again for coming on the show. We'll let you go.
Thanks, Jason. Appreciate it.
All right. So if you are a property management entrepreneur and you enjoyed the show, be sure to like and subscribe. If you're watching this on YouTube or on Facebook, be sure to share it if you would. We would appreciate that. If you're in some property management groups or comments, we'd love to see your comments. And if you're in iTunes, give us a review. We would really love to get that feedback. We're putting out this content for free. We would love a little reciprocity, people. That would be really sweet of you. I would appreciate it greatly. So it helps us get the word out and make a difference in this industry. So if you are a property management entrepreneur that wants to grow your business, add doors, you're struggling, you're feeling that there's scarcity in the industry, there's no scarcity in property management right now. 70% are self-managing. There's plenty of opportunity. Reach out and help us talk to us and let us help you see how you can align your business towards more warm leads and stop spending so much time trying to deal with cold leads and tire kickers and time wasters and the people that are at the very end of the sales cycle. They're the coldest, crappiest, most price sensitive. Those are the people searching online. They're the leftovers that fall off the word of mouth table. So come sit at the table with us here at DoorGrow. We'll talk to you soon. Check us out at doorgrow.com. Bye, everyone. Until next time, to our mutual growth.